everyone, happy Friday. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here in Cape Town, and we're on our way to our favorite place to go walking. I'm here with Mike, my fiance, if you haven't met him. Sam's in the back in the crate, and we're just going to show you our normal chilled weekend walk that we take him on. It's a nice outdoor place that we can go. It's nice and soft and not too hectic, not too steep, and there's a little place where he can go and swim, so it's really nice for all three of us. So when we take Sam walking, even at this age when he's like quite well controlled, I'll always walk him on lead. There's two major reasons for that. The one being his disability. I don't want him to overdo it. He doesn't really know how to limit himself, so he'll tend to run too much and then be really tired later and start limping and then be in pain. And the other reason is I don't know all the other dogs here, and so I can't trust them. And so I would rather have him be close to me, and then I can make sure that he's not going to get injured and he's not going to get into any sort of situation that he's not going to be safe. So I'd rather keep him close to me. Often we're stopped while we're walking with Sam, or if we have him out in public, and people ask, does he bite, or why does he have a muzzle on, because they see the Holtie. And so I just wanted to explain what it is. So he's actually wearing the Gentle Leader brand. So all it is basically a face collar. It leads his head, guides it really nicely, has no pressure on the throat. It has way more support, and you're able to move it more than a harness. But unlike a choke chain or a slip collar, it's not going to put any pressure on his windpipe or on his throat. But then in a harness, you've got absolutely no control over their back. So a head halter, it's pretty much the same as what you would use for a horse. You can just guide which way their head goes. With any equipment used for dogs, it can be used incorrectly, but that goes for basically any piece of equipment. So it needs to be used in the proper way, but when used correctly, it can be a very powerful tool to get very nice heel work with your dog and very good training, and also can help direct your dog's head away from any sort of danger if they're wanting to snap at another dog, or if you just need to quickly get them out of a situation. And it's very difficult for them to slip it, unlike a collar.
So we've just arrived at where Sam usually goes for a swim, and unfortunately there's almost no water here. I think Sam already knows and he's quite disappointed. So this is the water I was talking about. It's not great, it's basically just a bit of a mud puddle. We'll see what he wants to do.
So another really important thing to note is don't let your dog off the lead until they're ready. So make sure that your recall is solid before you allow them off the lead in a public space. So practice your recall at home many times. Make sure that it's 9 out of 10 times that your dog is coming back before you let them off lead in public. It's not mean to be having your dog on lead in public. It's so much safer for them. You're going to actually be doing your dog a huge favor. There's so many better ways to socialize your puppy actually on lead than off lead. I'm going to be sharing a few tips on how to do this as well, but don't let your dog off before they're ready, because you're going to end up with problems either with your dog running away or getting into a fight. So it's a really good idea to do that. And then in terms of getting your dog back on the lead, you don't want it to become a bad association that, oh, we're going on the lead to go home, because then your dog's going to start not wanting to go back on the lead. And you also don't want them to think it's a game. Many dogs will try to run away from you because they think it's a really fun game to run when you want them to go on the lead. So what you can do is just offer them a reward for it. So I'm going to call Sam to me. When he comes to me, he's busy doing something that's really distracting at the moment, so he might take a while to notice what I'm saying. When he comes to me, I'm going to give him a treat, and then I'm going to clip the lead on and give him a nice verbal reward as well. Samkha! Hi, boy! Good job! Thank you! Good boy!
So one of the reasons we love this park for walking dogs is the fact that it's great for socializing. So there's things like wild squirrels here, there's people who ride horses, there's kids on bicycles, plenty dogs, plenty people running and jogging and exercising. So it's great for your dog to basically get used to all these different things. And it helps them, to train them in this environment will actually help them to focus better on you and will improve their overall training.
We had a lovely walk at the green belt. Unfortunately for Sammy there was no water, but he still had a lovely time, and we did do some socializing. That did not mean that he played with every dog, because Sam doesn't play with other dogs. Socializing doesn't actually mean playing with every dog, it just means being able to be around other dogs. So he sniffed a few dogs, he ignored a few dogs, and it was a really great time for all of us. We didn't have any bad incidents, we waved at a few random strangers. We got some fresh air, so all in all it was a pretty nice walk for all of us.